So, welcome to my presentation. I'm Anna Bator. My role at Spinifex IT is Solution Consultant. Today, I'm happy to share with you my knowledge about 2022 R1 release. Today we have a short agenda, but with many new improvements. At the beginning, I will explain the rules of Spinifex IT regarding the main release. Later, we will focus on the current release 2022 R1 to finally tell you a bit what can be expected in the new release. As you can see in the slide, we have two main releases. The first release this year has already been implemented, and today I will show you what improvements have been made with it. The next release is planned for October this year. However, please be aware that release dates can be modified based on the results of internal quality assurance process. With each new release, you can expect new functionalities, improvements to existing functionalities, or corrections. Usually, at least 6 patches with corrections and enhancements are applied before each major release. Before the final implementation of new solutions, the changes are always tested by selected pilot customers. I will tell you more about becoming a pilot client at the end of the presentation. At the beginning, I would like to clear up any concerns as to what could happen if Spinifex IT solutions are not updated in time. Lack of upgrade does not mean that the solution will stop working. The solution can still be used, and the customer care team will be happy to answer your inquiries. But in the event of any technical problems, we will not be able to provide you with appropriate support. I think it is also a great pity not to take advantage of the opportunity to optimize work and speed up processes. This is why I encourage you to plan upgrades at least once a year, preferably taking into account the main release delivery dates. The current release has covered changes in areas such Easy Reporter Standard, Easy Reporter integration to SuccessFactors, and web reporting. So take a look at the first change regarding Easy Reporter Standard. I have to say that I'm very excited about this new solution because it gives the possibility to combine report results on different levels and give greater transparency of the results obtained. I'm glad that I can share this reporting option with you. It is all about enhanced merge functionality, which gives the ability to switch between different merge options, diversified on different levels. For this purpose, additional tabs have been added to the previous solution, where each of them can be independently activated or deactivated and also assigned to different timing. Let's see how this new functionality works in the system. This is the report I have prepared for you. We are now in tab 2 report columns. The toolset to merge report data on several levels, it's located in the folder with advanced settings. So let's open this folder and take a look on this improvement. So I will double click on merge settings. And here we can already see more merge tabs. As before, we have merge 1, 2, and 3 here. For better understanding of this improvement, I will first deactivate these settings and present the report's results. Then I will activate this function later to make it easier to see the changes that are taking place thanks to it. So I will deactivate merge 1. I will also deactivate merge 3. Merge 2 and merge 3 is empty. So now I can run the report after selecting the variant I have prepared before. So here we have the results. Each wage type is presented for each employee separately. The data is actually not merged in any way. All values in the payroll results column are less than 50. Therefore, in the last column here, for all lines, we get the comment under 50, which is the result of the mapping set here. So now I think we can go back to merge one tab settings so that I can explain you how this was set. At the first stage, we recognize that data such as personal number, and for period are unique and expect only one line to be created for each of these types of data. Also, please note in the merge timing field here, the option 1 was selected, which means that, for example, an additional over/under 50 mapping function will be performed only after the merge one task is completed. Now we can go to merge options. In this tab, it has been set that the wage types will be joined without repetition using this sign. So let's see how the results of the report will change after activating only the merge one option. So I will mark this and I will execute this report once again. So here we received for each personal number combined result, taking into account the uniqueness of the for period field. And for example, here personal number 18 has a merged result for April and May. So actually this person has 2 lines now. Also, since the over/under 50 mapping was performed after the values of the payroll results column were accumulated, we also got over 50 more often. So for example, here in this line, we can see over 50. And also in the wage types columns. So here we can see a list of all info types that have been combined to obtain one result for an employee. And now let's add the next level of the merge function. I will go back here and go to merge 2. And we will start with unique fields. So this time, wage types will be a unique field. Note, however, that not single wage type will be unique, but wage types grouped and concatenate through merge one. So this is an excellent example where you can clearly see the overlapping of 2 merge levels. We are also still interested in separate payroll periods. Therefore, we also mark for period as unique field. And this time we will use the default merge timing. And now we will go to merge options. In this case, we want to look at the particular group of wage types. Therefore, the personal numbers are not important, and we can select here replace as merge option. Okay, I think it's all for merge too, so I can activate this level and I can execute the report. You can see here the data has been grouped in the way we choose. We received a separate data record for individual common wage types groups broken down into payroll periods. So here we have wage types and here we have payroll periods and here we have April and here we have May. In addition, after eliminating the division into personal numbers, the option of counting the number of employees for each record in the employee count column began to function properly. So it's not always one, but for example, in the first line, we have 3 employees affected. So we have here number 3. And yeah, this was all for now. To summarize, in this example, we have overlapped 2 data layers to get the desired effect. I know this is quite a complex topic, but I think with a little practice, you will be able to build your own multi-level reports. I hope you liked the first presentation. The next great solution is bulk job scheduling capability. From my point of view, it is amazing because it can save a lot of time. A set of reports, once planned, can be reused at any time intervals without additional planning time. Further, with this solution, we can be sure that the reports are executed in the right order. We have also a significant influence on the automation of the process at a low cost. So let's have a look on the details. A new bulk execution menu has been added to the current release that allows to schedule several reports one after another. Reports can be executed immediately or scheduled to run at a later time. After selection, modify, execute from the main menu, and then maintain bulk execution, we will be transferred to a new screen where we can create submenu for our bulk execution task and assign any number of reports to each folder. If we choose bulk execution from the previous list, we will be redirected to a new screen where we can plan the execution of the previously prepared scenario. After bulk execution, we can track its results by opening background job overview for our user. For a better understanding of their entire mechanism, we will now plan a few reports together using the new solution. This function is managed from the top menu of Easy Reporter. To see the job scheduling possibility, drop down the Modify Execute list. At the beginning, we want to set up report for bulk scheduling. So I click on Maintain Bulk Scheduling, Bulk Execution. Then I need to select the folder where I want to create my scenario. And then I click on the icon with a blank page. I'm clicking up on subfolder because I want to create folder here. I need to name my folder. So I will write, for example, bulk execution test. So with this name, we will be able to recognize our folder. I confirm this with enter. And now here we can see our folder was created. And now we will add reports to this folder. So again, I'm clicking on this icon. This time I'm selecting report link. And here's the place I can add reports to my scenario. So first we need description for this report. This will be my first report, so I will just put here 1, and then I will select reports here to add. This takes a little bit of time because Easy Reporter is searching now all reports we have saved. Okay, so here we have list. For my example, I will use just pre-delivered report. So I'm going to Easy Reporting Suite. And let's say in our case, we are from HR department. So we will plan few reports from HR area. I will go, for example, to master data reporting folder. And let's say we will take first report here, and we will include it to our scenario. So I'm selecting this and confirming with OK. Then here we have a possibility to select variant. This report has variants, and I will select something here. I will take the first one, and now our first reporting scenario is set. So I will save my settings. Okay, this was saved. So now we can add another reports to our folder. So I will repeat the steps. I will select here report link. Then this is my second report. So I will just put here 2. And again, I will select here some report from our pre-delivered report list. I'm opening this folder. Again, Easy Reporting Suite, then HR reports, and then master data reporting. And for example, now we can take this report with additional payments from InfoType 15. I will select again some variant here. I will take test 2, for example, and now I can save my settings. Okay, and now we will add the last report to our scenario. So again, report link. This is my third report, so I will put 3 in description. And I will again add some report. Reports are here. I'm looking for another HR report. And this time, as last report, let's take birthday listing. Again, I will select variant here. I will choose my variant. And now again, I can save the report in our scenario. Okay, so after making all the necessary settings, we can return to the main Easy Reporter window. And again, we can expand, modify, and execute option. And now we will select bulk execution. So this will be the place where we can start the job with our reports. So this is how it looks like. Here we can add our scenario. It's here in the folder. And we named this bulk execution test. So I will select this. Here we have our reports. Here we can give the name for our job. So I will just write bulk execution. Okay. And then here we can enter selections. In our case, we have already prepared and selected variants, but in case variants are not prepared, here's the place where we can select employees or payroll area for our scenario. I will mark again this option, and then I will start my reports now. But it's worth to note that there is also an option to schedule the reports. So our jobs were started. Here we can see it was successfully. And now we can go to job overview to see our results. This is the name of transaction where we can see it. So here I will just execute this, and I will be able to see all jobs started for my user today. And here we can see the results. Here are our reports. And with double click on this, and with one click on this, here we can see the data we requested in the first report. Then I'm going back to show you the results of the second report. Here we have this data from InfoType 15. And in the last line, we have our birthday listing. Another great solution that will save you a lot of time is global mapping functionality. Again, once saved, the global mapping list can be used many times to create similar reports. An additional advantage is standardization of data used in reports, thanks to possibility of using typical mapping lists for company by other users. To make these improvements possible, a new global mapping maintenance screen was created. Thanks to this, a global mapping list can be created and used in numerous reports and also by the file import mapping functionalities. When creating a report, the user can choose whether he wants to define his own mapping or use the mapping already created. Here we can see that a similar screen has also been implemented for import file. I invite you to demonstration of the solution in the system. First, I would like to show you how to create global mapping list. This functionality is visible while creating a new report. So I will click here on blank page. Then we have to go to configuration and global mapping. After that, we click on create global mapping. And here system is asking for a code for our new global mapping list. It's important to put here something you can easily recognize because this will be then visible on the drop-down list. And my aim is just to create global mapping list, which converts numbers to months. So I will put here months. Then we need to fill in descriptions. I will write here number 2 months because this is main idea of my list. And here I will just put description. In this table, we are using standard Easy Reporter logic for criteria. I will give more lines for my data now. And then I can select include, equal, 0, 1. And I will ask the system if there will be 0, 1 on the list, please put January. And I will repeat this for a few months. Include, equal, 0, 2, February. And I will add March now, 0, 3, it's here. Okay, I think this is enough to understand this logic. I will just save my list. For our educational purposes, I have prepared 2 additional mapping lists, which I will use in the next report. This is the first one. It's converting the employee's assessment in person to monetary value. So for example, employees with value 100% will receive 1,000 euros bonus. And my next list, I call this ABC test, but it converts the employee number to an employee number assigned in another system. I would like to demonstrate the functioning of global mapping in a more complex report than the direct replacement of months values. So at the beginning, I would like to present a file whose values we will use to prepare the data we need. So this is my file. The first column shows the personal numbers from one of the subsystems, other than standard number of this employee of the main system. The second one contains the employee's performance. At the end, you can see a comment on this rating. In the previously demonstrated global mapping list, the personal number from the subsystem were assigned to correct employee numbers from the main system, and the percentage value of the grade was assigned an appropriate monetary value. The aim of this demonstration will be to present a report based on the data from the presented file with their automatic conversion to appropriate values using the previously saved global mapping list. So let's see together how this report is structured. So I will close this now, and I will go to my report. This is the report I have created, and we will go now to the change mode. I open tab 2, report columns, and here you can see that our sample report has 5 columns. Global personal number. This is the mapping field, and in its settings, we can see that the defined mapping has been used here. The use predefined mapping option is marked, and the mapping list is I showed you before was selected from the list. So this is this ABC test list. This mapping turns personal numbers of the current system into numbers from the list. For example, personal numbers from another system. Another columns are personal number, names of employee. Then we have bonus. It is a placeholder field where the converted values from the uploaded file will be placed. And we have also comment field, and it is also placeholder field where comments from the uploaded file will be placed without any modification. What is very important, the global mapping can also be set at the level of importing the data file. Therefore, we will go now to tab 5 and select data import option tab. In the PC file input field, we have already seen the file I showed you before. It's saved here. And then to see the details, we have to go to the import settings. I need to confirm the access. And here we have import file column. The purpose of this is to select the column that will be used from the source file for direct or indirect data import. Indirect import using the global mapping option has been set on the first and third line. And you can recognize it by the icon with a pencil on the right side. There are no additional settings in the line 4, which means it will be implemented directly from the source file. The second line will not be taken from the file. The report will simply pull the employee's full name from the system. Let's look at two used examples of global mapping. In the first line, for the purpose of data organization, the mapping of personal numbers was repeated. Otherwise, the data of each personal number was broken into 2 lines. And then we can go to the third line. It uses the second mapping list we talked about earlier. Its purpose is to convert the employee's assessment in percentage to monetary value. Again, the use predefined mapping is marked and list is selected here. I think that's all the most important elements of this report. So now I will show you the results of the report. So I will go to tab 7. I will select variant I've prepared before, and I will run the report. I need to confirm access to the file. So this is our results. I think we can compare this with our file. So here you can see how the whole mechanism is working. So in the first column, the personal number was converted thanks to global mapping to global personal numbers, we said. Then we have just personal number from the system, then names of the employee. And here again, this is the place where global mapping functionality was working. And it converted percentage value into payment for employee, and comment was just transferred from the file as it was. That's it for the demonstration. I'm sure that from your practice, you know many lists that can be saved and reused many times thanks to this new global mapping function, and its application will significantly improve your work. There is a very useful functionalities included under the name define error reporting. Thanks to the possibility of adding fields with comments using values from reported columns, identifying of actions that need to be performed based on the report is quicker. Another advantage is saving time by no need to modify the reports after its execution to get the relevant messages in the report. To make this possible, an option to set our exception messages has been added to Advanced Setting folder. This is what the exception report settings window looks like. We build the report here in the same way as in the case of a regular report, with the difference that the number of fields to be selected is limited to the fields of the main report. At this point, I would like to point out that an ability to display 2 versions of the report with and without exception messages was added on the screen. Here is the place where you can activate this option, and then you will receive a button here to display main report or exception report. And here's the place where you can choose if main report or exception report should be displayed as first. The second option that was added in the advanced setting folder is exception message. The newly added screen allows you to set the description and another specification for the message. 3 values from the report can be added to each message. Each message can also be assigned extended conditions of their application, known from other functions of Spinifex IT, where there is a need to establish conditional rules. Now, I would like to show you how to use the new functionality in the system. Okay, so the task of this example is to create a report that checks the last update of the email address by the employee and then to create adequate messages for the employee. So let's see how this report is structured. The columns we need have already been selected. To control the private email and its last update, it was necessary to add, of course, the private email and private email last change on fields. Additionally, for reporting purposes, it was assumed that the email address changed more than 1 year ago requires re-verification by the employee. For this reason, we have here such fields as selection end date and calculation field. In the calculation field, we calculate the point in time from which the email address is no longer valid. This is 1 year from the report selection end date, and we have entered this here in days. And what's important is to change here to date format. So this is all about setting of the main report. I will now start this so that we can see the results of our main report. Here variant is selected and I will execute the report. What are the results of our report? Here we have some employee data, but what's the most important is private email. Here we can see that only 2 employees have email entered into the system. The first email was updated recently, so it's valid. And another one is not up to date according to the rules we agreed. So this is a standard report, and till this point there is nothing special. So let's have a look on the improvement we've prepared for you. The new enhancement was added to advanced setting folder, and here we can find 2 new folders. One is exception setup and another one is exception message. I will open exception message first. Here we can see 3 messages I have set before, but in case you need to add some message or delete some message, you can use these buttons here. I will open the first message here. This is the place where you can put the description for your message. There is a possibility to display this in the report. And here is the message itself. Your private email ensign was last updated on ensign, please verify. So this ensign is actually placeholder for the data selected here. So in this place, private email will be displayed, and in this place, we will receive private email last change on date. What's also very important here, we have place to put our conditions. So we need to say to the system in which cases this message should be displayed. And in this case, focus is put on this calculation field just to check if the email address is up to date or not. I will open also another messages. So this messages is only saying that the email is missing and the employee need to enter missing data. So there is not a lot of settings here. And here is message saying no action because employee has private email address up to date. So we are saying okay and putting only information from the report here. So that's all about exception message. Now let's have a look on exception setup. Here is the place where we can select if main report or exception report will be displayed first. And here is the tick where we can activate this possibility actually. And here we have a section where we can select fields to be displayed in our exception reports. On this side at the beginning should be displayed or fields coming from the main report. And then we can take drag and drop what we need and put on another side here. Here's also the possibility to sort and subtotal our columns. And what we can see here, we have two additional fields not coming from the main report. This is exception detail message and exception message. So our report will be sorted according to them. I think it's all about setup and messages. So now I will just show you the exception report here. So this is the main report we started before, and now we need just to click on display exception to receive another report. And here we can see that the data were sorted as we asked. We have here our exception messages and exception detail message. So in this case, no action is necessary because the email of this employee was up to date. In this case, we can inform these employees that email is missing. And in this case, we can inform the employee that email is there, but this is not up to date. And we can ask him to verify this. So that is all for this improvement. And I'm sure it will give you more flexibility when creating reports. We have also improved recently data import options by allowing you to add information about header text lines. This is a very flexible solution, and you do not need to spend extra time editing the file containing the headers before importing. As for the use, the change is small and consists in adding one field in which we specify the number of headers line. This is here. However, it is a significant change in the way the system uses data. Thanks to this, if there are headers in the file, the system will be able to recognize from which line the actual data begin. For example, referring to the posted screenshots, if our file contains 3 lines of header, enter the value 3 in the new field, and only the data from line 4 will be used for the report. Here I have posted a supporting screen that shows exactly where this upgrade is located. In report display mode, you need to click the modify output button and then select data import options. By default, this field is empty. This means all rows inside the file will be red. If we add any value, the system will behave in the way I described before. Another improvement makes using Interface Builder even easier. The ability to display the text of header or a subheader makes the view more transparent, and possible mistakes in the columns are faster to find. This change of view is possible due to addition of two fields: display interface heading information and display this section heading information. In the red frame, we see the view after selecting both of the options just mentioned. To better identify the place in the system we are talking about, I added two screens. This solution is dedicated to the interface file option in the tab Output to a file. On the next slide, we can see the header and subheader screen, the settings of which are visible when editing the body thanks to the new solution. With the next change, we met the needs of our customers for wider possibilities when it comes to the length of the header column. Until now, only 40 characters could be entered here. Free text length has been upgraded to 150 characters. With this solution, you can manage Spinifex IT product homepage. After going from System Settings to General System Settings, you can disable Remote Splash Screen under Spinifex IT Product Splash Screen section. Another improvement is cross-system reporting, which allows for more flexible reporting. Thanks to this change, reporting is possible between different systems when one is a Unicode and another is non-Unicode system. Now, an appropriate message will appear also on the screen when running remote reports. In this section, we will look at a few info types, fields, and tables that have been added to the Easy Reporter to make reporting easier for our clients. Fields with a social insurance incentive and its start date have been added to the folder for social security data fields from InfoType 154 for Italy. The following two fields have been added also to the Italian InfoType 160: daily additional amount and monthly additional amount. Then the field concerning garnishment documents was set to display code and text. The folder for same info type was also enriched with additional columns to choose from. Greater reporting possibilities were also created by adding columns to the info type garnishment order. Then, persons reporting data regarding employees from Poland can report two new fields: contract reported and contract subject. External bank transfer fields under InfoType 11 have also been updated. The update also took into account the specificity of Oman. Some new fields have been added regarding the social insurance info type. Another country for which we took into account his individual needs are Netherlands. You can find the specific table, relationship representing legal person and external agencies in the country configuration tables. And finally, again for Netherlands, we've added a few new selection fields to wage tax cluster table. This was the last upgrade for Easy Reporter Standard. Now I will present one improvement regarding Easy Reporter integration to SuccessFactors, taking into account recent decommissioning of basic authentication. We have enabled OAuth SuccessFactors authentication. This new SuccessFactors authentication standard can be maintained after opening the General System Settings. There you will find two new options under this improvement: SuccessFactors Company ID and Override User for Buffering Program. First one is about authentication based on the company ID. The second one is giving the possibility to use the provided user instead of the logged in user. At this point, I would like to stress that new authentication method doesn't currently work with SAP Cloud Platform integration. Thanks to the product list, the configuration of authentication settings can be more flexible. A few more words about the log option. You can select it in the column User ID mode. This will obtain a user ID based on the SuccessFactors linking method selected on the General Settings screen. It is important that this user is first connected with the employee via InfoType 105, subtype 1. Then the code will use that employee to get to the appropriate user ID. We have also improved our web reporting functionality. This change adds access to the full Easy Reporter menu functionality in web reporting. Use the transaction displayed on the slide for accessing the web version of the new Easy Reporter menu functionality. As you can see on the screen, the full Easy Reporter menu will be displayed in the Internet browser window. The next great improvement regarding web reporting is sort functionality. We added on the right sort criteria button that allows you to open the sort window. A new icon is available when results are displayed after report execution in web reporting. After sorting, you can also edit individual columns directly by clicking on their headers. Then a list with sorting and filtering options will appear. These were all the new solutions implemented with the last release that I prepared for today. I hope many of them will make your work more effective. At the end, I would like to share a few more improvements that can be expected in the near future. So what is coming in next release? Favorites menu on Easy Reports menu. With this improvement, you will be able to quickly run the reports without having to navigate all over the places to find regular executed reports. Then we have also field notes section where we can put instructions to user. Also, monitoring of interfaces executed will be activated with following possibilities such as store files created, see who it went to, be able to resend files again, be able to view report source. Then, more than one import file will be allowed, and combining from multiple sources simultaneously will be possible. Also, Easy Reporter will become more flexible around the timing, around the filter options. For global mapping security, an extra checkbox will be added. This should be then require users to have this option ticked before they see the global mapping setting on the following screen. And as usual, we would add also new fields and info types. If you are interested in the upcoming improvements, I encourage you to take part into the pilot program. The advantages of this program include faster availability of a new solution, having a dedicated consultant, and priority support. Please contact your customer care team or account manager if you wish to participate in our pilot release program. Also, for other topics, do not hesitate to contact us. We will be happy to assist you. I highly recommend our portal as a valuable source of knowledge. You can also contact us by sending a message to a general information email. Additionally, me and my colleague Brandon, we are at your disposal via email. It's also worth getting to know our other communication channels. That's all for today. Thank you so much for your interest and attention, and I wish you much satisfaction while using the new Easy Reporter solution. Take care and goodbye.